Satnam, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Friday online sadhana. You may notice my turban's a little different today. It's a little more on point. And that's because I'm practicing wrapping a little bit more of a proper turban that covers my whole head in white for 3 days of white tantric yoga that's happening over the summer solstice in New Mexico. The whole Kundalini yoga community congregates in Espanol, New Mexico, and spends. You may notice my turban's a little different today. It's a little more on point. Got it. We gather for 3 days, or for a week, to do yoga, and then 3 days specifically to do white tantric yoga, which is kind of this all-day event of meditations back to back. It can be anywhere from like 1 to 2 really long meditations to 6 or 7 20 to 30-minute meditations, but you do it in partners in these rows together, and it's really amazing and purifying and intense, and I'm excited and scared all at the same time. But you have to wear all white and you have to cover your head when you do it. So I'm not usually into doing such a tight turban like this, but I really want to practice for white tantric. And then also for white tantric, I'm doing a 40-day Kriya and meditation, kind of in getting ready for the hardcore activity of 3 days of white tantric. And 40 days is an amount of time that you can practice meditation or Kriya, and I'm doing 2 together to break a habit. And then 90 days, I believe, establishes a new habit. And then there's also 120 days and 1,000-day goals that you can do. And I've done several 40 days. I almost made a 90-day once. I made it to 87 and then just forgot one day. But I tried my best. So I'm doing another 40-day right now, and I'm going to do abdominal strengthening today with you guys. And I've done it. This will be my 4th day. It's pretty hardcore. I'm a little sore. The full times for the Kriya is 2 minutes for every asana, but we're just going to do a minute today because I did 2 minutes the first 2 days, 1 minute yesterday. I'm going to do 1 minute again today. And then I'm going to jump back into doing 2 minutes again tomorrow. Because you'll see some of the moves. I can't quite do them because my abs are so sore and so weak right now. But this Kriya is from the book Sadhana Guidelines, which I believe you can get on like KRI's website. So if you just Google KRI, it's a Kundalini Research Institute, you'll find all their books. And this one's Sadhana Guidelines. This one's on page 134. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. Let's tune in. Rub your hands together. Press your palms slightly. The thumbs against the sternum. Straight back. Soft crown lifting towards the ceiling. And take a deep breath into your stomach. And then into your lungs. And relax. Let's do one more like that. When you exhale, exhale completely, pulling the navel point back towards the spine. And now let's inhale to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale. And hold. Apply the root lock. And exhale and relax the arms down. A lot of times at the top of the inhale or the bottom of the exhale, I'll say hold the root lock. And again, that's just clenching the sex organs, the anus, and the lower abdomens. So kind of all those muscles to stop you from like going to the bathroom, just clenching those. And women, you never do that if you're on your cycle. So we're just going to jump right into the Kriya. I'm not going to start with the pranayama because it has a lot of pranayama throughout the Kriya. We're going to be doing a lot of breath of fire today. Breath of fire is that quick inhalation and exhalation out of the nose with a slight belly pulse. One way to start doing it really easily is to start panting like a dog and then slowly close the mouth. And continue the breath through the nose. If at any point you get dizzy while you're doing breath of fire, just go ahead and stop, regain your normal breath, and then start breath of fire again. So come into rock pose, which is, if this is okay for your knees, you're gonna go ahead and sit on your heels, and you're gonna feel the heels right in the sits bones. The ankles aren't like turned to the side so that you're kind of sitting lower. You're sitting up a little higher on the heels. And in this position, you're going to interlace the fingers and press the thumbs on the Venus mound, that kind of fleshy mound at the bottom of the thumb. One thumb will kind of be on the top of the mound, the other thumb will be on the bottom. And then you're going to bring this mudra behind you to the back of your neck. Elbows spread wide, spine straight, and guess what? Breath of fire.
Stars in the sky. I love you more than I could. I love you more each day. You love me too, but I was broken up before you found me. I was on the man, letting go.
Inhale. And exhale. Release arms down. And next, come lying on your stomach. And you're gonna come as if you're going into bow pose. But we're not going to go up. We're just going to kind of lay on the floor, holding our ankles. So come lying on the stomach. You can put either the chin on the floor or the forehead to the floor. And just hold either the ankles or the tops of the feet and normal breathing. You may feel your navel point pulsing at this time. It's just kind of observing your heartbeat somewhere in the navel area. You may feel that pulsing against the floor. It's normal. Slowly release the position and come to your back. We're going to do stretch pose. Stretch pose is where you bring your head, hands, and feet up off of the ground about 6 inches and do breath of fire. For ladies, if you're, or anybody who's, got anything sore going on in their abdomen, if you're on your cycle, you can bring your knees up and then head and hands. And if at any point your neck gets really tired and sore, you can hold your neck for a second, and then when you regain your strength, you bring your hands back. So go ahead and come into whatever position is working for you today. And breath of fire. Halfway there. Inhale, hold, and relax. You may have seen me adjust my back a little bit while we were doing that. And that's because when you're doing breath of fire, you really want your tailbone to be as flat against the floor as possible. And a lot of times when you're in stretch pose, you can start to feel that lower back kind of pop up off the floor a little bit. And that just means that your lower abs are kind of like, they've had it. They're kind of giving way a little bit. And you really want the back to be flat while you're doing breath of fire. So if when you're in this position, you feel the tailbone pop up a little bit, if you bring your knees in, you'll feel that back flatten out again. And that's really much more healthy. I think if you kind of push through and do breath of fire with those legs straight out, even though your lower back is popping up off of the floor, if you continue a practice like that, you'll eventually see pretty bad results. It'll end up hurting your lower back. So maybe it doesn't hurt so much right in the moment, but after a long, steady practice, it'll accumulate and it'll be really damaging. So be careful. And staying on the back, we're going to do leg piston now. Going to be kind of similar to stretch pose. You're just going to hold the right leg straight out about 6 inches off of the ground as you bring the knee in on the exhale. Then you're going to switch, bring the right leg in on the exhale. Head down, hands on the ground. If you want a little bit more support, you can put your hands under your buttocks. Inhale, exhale. Inhale both legs in, and then exhale, feet to the floor. Again, stay on the back. Go ahead and stretch the legs out. And we're going to inhale both legs up to 90 degrees. And then exhale down slowly with control. Take your time, go as fast or slow as you need. Try to keep the tension out of your face and shoulders, your upper body when you're doing this. Keep that nice and loose. Again, it's inhaling the legs up to 90 degrees. And exhaling down with control. Inhale up. Hold for a second. And then exhale down. And just lie on your back for a moment. Then bring your knees into your chest and roll up to seated. To turn back around, come on your stomach. You're gonna bring your hands under your shoulders and push up into a cobra with the feet up. Cobra, usually with the feet down, and bring the feet up. And in this position, we're gonna do normal breathing. 1 minute. If this is too much pressure for your lower back, you can go into baby cobra, down on the forearms. Make sure to keep the shoulders down and relaxed. Chest open. And inhale, hold, and slowly come out. Just lay on your stomach for a moment. You can go into baby pose if you like. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and push up. Turn around and come on the back again. Bring the knees into the chest. We're just going to do back rolls. So rolling up onto the tailbone and back onto the top of the shoulders. Or whatever range is good for you. And just keep rocking. It's a massage for the whole spine. Just a couple more. 2. And the last one. And come to sitting. And just sit for a moment. Or continue to lay down. Whatever feels good for you. Just take a moment to feel the effects of the Kriya this far. When you're ready, come back onto your stomach. is one of my favorite poses. It's called locus pose. So laying on the stomach, you're going to bring the hands out in front of you. I know you can't see, but I've got my hands in prayer position, stretched out all the way in front. And then the legs stretched out all the way in the back with the toes pointed. And we're going to lift the arms and the legs and do breath of fire. A modification for the arms is you can bring them back. Otherwise, they should be in front in prayer position. Halfway there. Keep up, almost there. Beautiful. And inhale. And then exhale and relax. Take a couple deep breaths. Feel the lower back expand. When you're ready, we're going to come into bow pose, full bow pose now. So bend the knees, lift the chest, grab either the ankles or the top of the feet. And we're going to pull up into bow pose and begin a breath of fire. Over halfway there. Inhale and arch all the way up as much as you can. And then exhale and release. Come into baby pose. Bring your hands to your knees and slowly push up. We're going to transition to standing. So come standing with your feet together. You're going to bring your hands out to the side. See, there we go. And you're going to inhale and bend to the left, bringing the left hand to the side of the body and the right arm up. And exhale, go to the right, bringing the right hand to the right side of the body and the left arm up. And we're going to oscillate back and forth between these two positions, coordinating the breath. Inhaling to the left and exhaling to the right. Palms are facing down. And it's inhaling to the left and exhale to the right. We usually do Kundalini exercises with our eyes closed, but when you're standing up, you know, it's okay to keep your eyes open, keep your balance. Just a couple more. Last one, inhale and exhale. And come to the center, inhale. And hold. And exhale, lower. Now bring the legs about 2 feet wide. It's a little bit bigger than hip width. And this time you're going to bring your right hand to your heart and your left hand back as you twist on an inhale. And then we're going to exhale, bring the left hand to the heart, the right hand back, and twist to the right. So inhale and exhale. If anybody's into kind of like the more new age stuff, I think this one's really good for ascension symptoms because it's really grounding and heart opening. So inhale to the left, and then exhale when you turn to the right. Just a couple more. Last cycle. And exhale. And inhale. Come to the center with the arms spread. Hold. And exhale and lower your hands. Bring your feet hip width apart now. And a really great way to measure hip width exactly, and I love this because it shows off how the body is a fractal, the human body is a fractal. Fractals are one of my favorite things in the whole world. That's what these tattoos are. Take your hands together, make fists, put them together and place them between your feet. And the space between your feet should be no bigger, no smaller than these two fists together. So that's hip width. And here we're going to stretch our arms up with the wrists turned so the palms are facing the floor, or facing the ceiling, because we're going to hinge from the hip, bend over, and then bring the palms to the floor, making contact with the floor. Inhale, and then we're going to be exhaling forward. And please bend your knees when you do this, and take your time. You don't have to go super fast. It can be a nice and slow breath. If you're really used to this exercise and you like to go fast, you can go ahead and do that. Here on my 4th day in this Kriya, I'm realizing this is probably actually the hardest exercise. The seemingly easiest one where you just bend over ends up being the hardest one for me. So I'm going to take it nice and slow. Inhale. And make sure you make contact with the floor with your hands. This is why bending your knees might be necessary. In fact, I suggest doing it for everyone because it's good for your lower back. Halfway there. And inhale up. And exhale, relax arms down. We're going to come back to seated position. And go ahead and come line on your back. Remember when we did those leg lifts earlier where we brought both legs together up to 90 degrees? Now we're just going to do alternate leg lifts. So laying on the back. You're going to bring the left leg up on an inhale, down on the exhale. Right leg up on an inhale, down on an exhale. And continue. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale left up, exhale down, inhale right up, and exhale down. Just relax for a second. Then bring the knees into the chest and come into rock pose. This is totally always one of my favorite parts of the Kriya. We get to do Sat Kriya. So Sat Kriya, we're going to come into rock pose again with the heels in the sits bones. If this doesn't work for your knees, you can do a couple things. You can take a blanket that's folded up a couple times, and you can place it between your feet and your sits bones. That'll take a little pressure off your knees, or you can just go ahead and stay in easy pose in just a nice cross-legged position. So Sat Kriya is a little bit different in this set today. Instead of interlacing the fingers and doing that yoga gun for Sat Kriya, everybody's going to do Kriya with prayer hands. So you just have your hands flat together, up above the head. We're going to be chanting the mantra Sat Nam. On the Sat, the belly will come in, and on Nam, the belly will relax. And you just regulate the breath yourself. Go ahead and take a breath whenever you need to. I'm going to try and just keep the rhythm steady. And then when we're done, we'll inhale and hold and apply that root lock. And begin. Sat, Nam, 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 Sat, Nam. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down in prayer position to the central channel. And then rest the hands on top of the thighs. We have just one more asana for the abdominal strengthening Kriya. This one is pretty tough. The ideal position is balancing on your tailbone with your legs 60 degrees up in the air and your hands straight out, palms down. It's pretty hard to maintain. As you can see, I can do it for about 1 second. And we're going to be holding this for a minute. So a couple modifications are bending the knees with the arms straight out, palms down, bending the knees, holding behind the legs. Even if you want, you can bring your hands down back here, or you can even do this. For some people, you might, I can feel my abs engaged right now just doing this. So this is even another modification. So go ahead and come into whatever version of the pose works for you, and we'll do breath of fire for 1 minute. I always start shaking during this one. Shaking's good. It's great. It's where the magic happens. Ten seconds. Inhale and exhale. Come down. Go ahead and relax either on your back or an easy pose. I'm going to light a little bit of sage. Because I've been doing that as part of my yoga practice, like in the middle of the practice. I do identify as a solitary Wiccan, and so I mean, you don't have to be a Wiccan to burn sage, but I burn a lot of it. And I used to kind of kept the sage burning and the kind of magical ritual kind of more separate from Kundalini yoga. And I don't think that you should really be combining, too many of these things with Kundalini yoga. I really think Kundalini yoga practice should be kind of practice with serious devotion and like reverence for it, and it's very sacred to me. So I don't like to mix like a whole lot of Wiccan stuff in with it. But I've been really into smudging after the Kriya recently, because I feel like I've been dumping a lot of energetic BS with the Kriya's meditations recently, and I just like to keep the space fresh and clear and keep the energy moving. So I'm just burning a little sage after the Kriya before I relax. I don't know exactly what kind of sage this is. I think this is white sage. I got it at the Natural Foods grocery store in my neighborhood. Park Slope Food Co-op. What? Love the co-op. And let's definitely take a little bit of a relaxation today. So let's go ahead and just relax on our backs for 5 minutes. Lay down, get comfy, make any adjustments you need. If there's any tension in your lower back when you lay down, you can go ahead and bring your knees into your chest and give them a squeeze, and then slowly lower the legs, and you may feel a little bit of the tension come off. I'm a big fan of just covering up the navel point when you relax, when you rest as well. You can either let the arms fall on the side of the body with the palms up, or sometimes I like to bring the left hand to the heart center and the right hand to the navel point. Slowly begin to wake your body up by wiggling your fingers and toes. And rotating your wrists and ankles. Stretch your arms above your head, point your toes, and stretch. And relax. Bring your right knee into your chest, and then guide it over the left side of your body for a nice spinal twist. If you want to, you can extend the right hand out then, and then turn the head to the right, looking over that right shoulder. Then rest the right leg down on the ground and bring the left knee into the chest. And guide it over the right side of the butt, stretching the opposite way. Come back to the center. Remove the blankets or any other props or pillows. Bring your knees into your chest. Rock side to side, left to right a little bit. And then front to back. But before we roll it all the way, stay on the back and rub the hands together over the heart center and rub the feet together over the hips. Great. Now just generate a little heat between the hands and feet. And then bring the knees in and rock all the way up. I'm in a comfortable meditative position. I'm going to grab my pillow. I'm a little chilly, so I'm going to cover up a little bit. And the meditation I'm doing today is called Healing with the Siri Gaitri mantra. And this is from my teacher training manual on page 96. And we've got a mudra and a mantra going on for this meditation. So the mudra is the arms are comfortably just rested on the chest. And then the hands are palms facing the ceiling, and the fingers are together and the thumbs are separate. The thumbs are not with the hands. The thumbs are off to the side a little bit. Wrists cocked so that the palms are facing the ceiling. And during the meditation, you want to make sure that the hands are flat, palms are flat. So we'll check in with that internally, a couple times throughout the meditation. We're going to do meditation for 11 minutes today. Eyes closed, no other eye position indicated. And the mantra is Ra, Ma, Da, Sa, Sa, Se, So, Hung. And it's going to go in a very particular tune. Actually, I have my little pitch pipe here. We're going to start with a B. Let's see if I got it right. Let's see if I have perfect pitch. Ra. I was a little flat. It was close. Ra, ma, da, sa, sa, se, so, hung. Ra, ma, da, da, sa, sa, se, so, hung. Yes. Na, da, sa, sa, se, so. So at the end of the mantra, I'll tell you what the mantra means at the end. I like to, when I do a meditation with a mantra for the first time, I like to just say it and see what happens and see what I feel and experience, and then learn what it's about afterwards. Because a lot of times you're like, oh, wow, that's what I thought. That's what I thought was going on. It's kind of So we're going to be doing this mudra and saying this mantra for 11 minutes. At the end of one round of the mantra, you're just going to take a deep breath in, and then say the mantra once again on the breath. And the last thing, hung, is not going to be too long. And then on the sa, ramadasa, ramadasa, sa, se, so hung. On the last syllable of each of those phrases, you're going to bring the navel point in. So find that comfortable seated position. And begin. Ramadasa, sa, se, so hung. 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 Rama dasa sa se soham. 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 Rama dasa sa sei so hum. Rama da 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 sa sei so hum. And inhale. Exhale, keep the posture. And on your next inhale, imagine yourself surrounded by a white healing light. You can send this white healing light to anybody else that you know, sending out healing and prayers to yourself, to someone else, and to the world. So inhale. Exhale, keep the posture. Inhale and raise the hands all the way up and stretch. Start to shake the hands out. And then exhale. Continue shaking. Shake all around. Do a couple of spinal twists. Anything else you need, shoulder shrugs or some neck rolls. And just sit for a second in this meditative space. Listen to the ambient noise around you. See if you can still hear that mantra swirling around. Certain mantras are to be cherished like a most rare and beautiful gem. This mantra is just such a find. It is unique and it captures the radiant healing energy of the cosmos. Ra means the energy of the sun, strong and bright. Ma is the energy of the moon. It is the quality of receptivity and coolness. Da is the energy of the earth. It is secure and personal and the ground of action. Sa is the impersonal infinity. The cosmos in all of its open dimensions and totality is Sa. Se is totality of experience and is personal. It is the feeling of the sacred. Thou. It is the embodiment of Sa. So is the personal sense of merger and identity. And Hung is the infinite, vibrating and real. The two qualities together, so and hung, so hung, the end of the mantra means I am thou. So we're bringing down the energy of the sun, the energy of the moon, bringing in the energy of the earth, and then bringing in the energy of the totality of infinity. Then we're identifying with that infinity. I am that. I am thou. And there's just a couple comments for the Kriya for abdominal strengthening. It says this Kriya gives you a good physical workout. I'm sure you'll feel that tomorrow. It strengthens the navel point, abdominal muscles, and the lower back. It improves circulation, strengthens the nervous system so that behavior can be constant and direct, and is an excellent set for strengthening the digestive system. So I invite you to do this Kriya a couple more times. If you want to start a 40-day practice of that today, you would end your 40-day practice, I think, on June 23rd. I'll be done on June 20th. Ready to set sail for solstice on the 22nd, I believe. And I will do this Kriya again next week. I'm going to be doing this Kriya for the next, couple of online sadhanas. I'm going to do it again. I might mix up one of them, and instead of doing my sadhana with you, I might actually just teach a day of a couple of short Kriyas that you can just do like all on your own. I'll teach a couple of 3-minute one exercise Kriyas, and a Kriya just means a complete action. It means it's opening up all the chakras, rising the Kundalini, and balancing the aura and the energy. So I'll just teach a couple of those maybe in the next couple of weeks. But next week I will do this Kriya again, and we'll do it for the full times. Today we did 1 minute for each exercise, so next week we'll do 2 minutes for each exercise. And then I'll be doing that same meditation as well. So we'll go ahead and close the practice with the long time sun. Go ahead and rub your hands together. Bring your palms to the center of your chest. Feel the sits bones sink into the floor and the crown soften towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. And inhale to close. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on, guide your way on. And one long sat and one short nam. Sat nam. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye.